Yeah, my name is Honori Ambrose. I'm the resident city commissioner for Gulu City, and this is my 16th year in service. Previously, I've worked in Bunyoro, I've worked in Teso Bukedi, and Lango, and also Karamoja. So at least I have a big experience now. I have been able to work with different communities, with the different mindsets. And now I am in Gulu City. Of course, this is the first city that I have worked in. So this is totally a different environment from Karamoja, because I was in Kotido district. So I am tuning myself also to new challenges. I was here in 1989. I was here in 1990 when the situation was bad, and we worked with communities again that time. And that time, of course, we didn't have a city here. So this was a district, and we had Gulu and Kitgum. Those were the big districts. Now we're in a city with 2 divisions and with a population which is now high again, because the population is about 230,000. That population is bigger than some of the districts that we have in this country. Unfortunately, now in the city, I have also many communities, because we have the Eritrean community, we have the Southern Sudanese community, then we have the Acholi community itself, and we also have communities which have come from Uganda and some from Busoga. So we have also the Bagisu. So we have very many communities now. Now, basically, you know, they actually have had a very, very long history. And this history is, I don't believe that all of it is documented. But what we know is that at one particular time, there was an insurgency here, there was a rebellion here, whereby we had the Kony era, and then we also had the Alice Lakwena era, where at that time, nobody knows exactly what their intention was. Now, whether the intention was to capture government, nobody actually knows, because it was not pronounced. And what they were rebelling against also was not brought out clearly. But all what we know, that there was fighting here, you know, many people ran away. And yet, you know, the actually suffering did not only start during the time of this rebellion after '89. You know, the suffering here was also there during the overthrow of Idi Amin. So in 1979, you know, we had another community here. The Madi community had come down looking for greener pastures. So when they overthrew the government, you know, they felt unsafe, because when Idi Amin took over in 1971, the Acholi and the Langi again suffered. So people are only looking at what happened during this short time, but they are forgetting the history of the 70s. So the suffering of the communities here started as long as 1970, because when Idi Amin took over government, he looked badly at the Acholi and the Langi, because anybody who they thought was related to the president then, may he shall rest in peace, Apollo Milton Obote, was an enemy. And we know how they massacred many of them. And of course, it compelled those who survived to run into exile. Now, when they came back in 1986, of course, they took over government. And when the government was taken over, we again also had incidents whereby they actually did not see eye to eye with the Langi, you know, over the challenges within the appointments in the military. And that's why Basilio took over government, and this is not a secret. Now, for us who have been around for some time, we can be able to tell people exactly what happened. Now, today, they actually, I believe that they are seeing peace, and I don't think that they are seeing insecurity anywhere near. A lot of people are relaxed now, they are rearing animals. Recently, other communities, the Balalo, also came into the sub-region. They acquired land, and most of them got a relationship, and they also got assimilated into the community. Despite the fact that I have not been here continuously, I go and look at what people are doing in their households. Are they surviving? Are they sleeping hungry? Fortunately, people here don't sleep hungry like in other regions. Fortunately, government does not need to supply food into this area. Actually, this area in the Achole sub-region, people are supplying up to Kenya, Rwanda, Sudan with food. So there is food in plenty. And of course, many people have run here because God has blessed this area with very good soil. Other communities have run here and they have gone to the field. I've even seen Indians having farms. Now, when foreign nationals come here to do farming, then you know there's gold here. People cannot run to where there's nothing. That's why you saw the Balalo came here. If there was nothing, the Balalo would not come here. Now, the only challenge is that the indigenous people, what they call the local people, are not seeing the so many opportunities that are available in this place. That's where the problem is. So it's my duty now to awaken their minds, make them come to understand that they are missing a point. You know, Gulu in Uganda actually means heaven. Literally, that's what it means. But if you look at exactly what is going on here, I'll tell you something. People who are supposed to be here or who stay here are very close to people and living like people who are in heaven because everything is available. The weather is fantastic. And now government has put up a lot of institutions here that make the life of an individual complete. There's nothing which is missing. Now, the government is rehabilitating that and upgrading the airport, upgrading it. And that means that you don't need to go to Entebbe to fly out of the country because we have a immigration department here. And now we have a hub, the logistical hub, which has everything, whether you have tomatoes, onions, cabbage. They have big freezers that can keep your produce. Now we have the customs department itself here. So what will someone be missing? Now, just in case that you need to register a company, of course in international business, you have to deal, it's companies which do trading. You can just walk in and walk out with your company registered. We have Ubos here. They will test the quality of your food, whatever you want. Then now you'll need a passport. The regional passport office is here, just available. You go apply for your passport today and you get it tomorrow. So what is missing now? The only thing is missing is that somebody needs to activate his brain, put his brain into motion, and see how to focus on development. You see, for me, when I look at development, I just don't look at how much money people have in their pockets. Ask the RCC, where do I look? I go and see, I first check how much alcohol is being sold. So I go to the depot. I see how many trailers are being offloaded. I see how much soda is being offloaded. I look at what gets into the human being. What do they eat on a daily basis? How much food comes inside and how much food gets out. Now, whatever you do there does not determine exactly whether people are well off or not. Now, when you look at the amount of alcohol being taken, you know that there's also luxury. Now, what do people do, for example? If you have, and of course I'm telling you that I have more than 6,000 motorcycles in the city. 6,000 motorcycles do not just roam around, they carry passengers. I have now over 60 tuk-tuks. Now, tuk-tuk are these motorcycles which have got the three-wheeler. What do? They carry people. Now, that means that people have graduated from just sitting on a two-wheeler to sitting on a three-wheeler. They have graduated. That is what it means. Now, once people change their lifestyle, then you know that something is happening. But the question is that what is not happening is my concern. Is that there should be more money within the community, more than what I'm seeing. The mindset, you don't just take all your money to buy alcohol. Oh, you know, you have nightclubs here, people go dancing here, you know the cost of a guest house here, the cheapest maybe 25, but basically hotels here charge above $50. The hotels which charge above over $150 here. Once you have those rates and charging in dollars, you know that there is something happening. Now we have OWC, and you know General Saleh is here, and he has supported a lot of groups, and those groups have been able to they have a multiplier effect, supporting people in the market and supporting other groups. And now with the new coming back into real activity, the Microfinance Support Center, having its regional office here, then you know that the PDM, the SACCOs, all these associations, the MIOGA are going to be more productive than yesterday. And why? Because they are going to have trainings. And you know, in this city, I have got 2 deputies and 4 assistants who are doing a very good job. Now, once they are always in contact with the community, it means that there's some comfort in my office. I have a staff which is capable of doing what is supposed to be done, and they're always in touch with the public. Now, my only challenge that is there is now there's been some conflict, because when people ran away during the time of the war, the people who came back earlier, entered into land that did not belong to them. So there is some conflict also. That's where the problem is. But otherwise, the communities are living together. I know that I have this new challenge that I'm implementing the executive order that the herdsmen, were popularly called the Balalo, have to get out of their Choli sub-region. You see, as the RCC, I'm implementing a directive. And when they say directive, you don't ask questions, because it means that at that level, the president took a decision after a lot of consultations. I have only been here for a year now. I'm here 1 year. And I have, you know, there are challenges that we also get. Implementing, we'll do it. The people are saying, okay, let the Balolo go. Okay, some are saying, let the Balolo go, but let the women remain. Now, you want the Balalo to go, the male Balalo, but you want the female Balalo women to remain. Now, of course, then also there are communities who come to my office and say, no, but why did the president chase away these people? I said, no, but it came from a complaint from the community. He said, no, these people have made us rich. You know, they are leasing our land. You know, we stay with them. They give us for cows. We didn't even know how to keep animals, and we're enjoying staying with them. But it's a directive. And we are going to implement that directive to the dot. If anybody wants to appeal, they can appeal, not today, but at a later time to any other authority. But like you said, there are people who have been around. There are people who have been around. Now, you see, when you talk about Balalo, you know, sometimes people misunderstand. They don't exactly pick what it means. Because if there is somebody, for example, from Western Uganda, who bought land here, and he's not keeping animals, he's staying around, he ceases to be a Mulalo. Because to my knowledge, Balalo are cattle keepers. And not all these cattle keepers came from one direction. There are some who came from Tanzania, and then some who came from Ankole, and then some came from maybe as far as across the other borders. But of course, the origin of the Balalo to go is that some of them did not behave well with the community. They allowed their animals to trample on the food of the members. Then they said, no, we can't stay like this. At one moment, we are all aware that the president said, no, let these people register their presence there and let them put money to fence off where the animals are. Some decided to do it, but some did not bother. Now, so long as one person defies a directive, then he will spoil the environment for the others. So this is exactly what happened. Now, in this city, of course, sometimes when you ask, why do you think it's growing? Because even the number of criminals is big. It means that there is actually something that is not happening the way it's supposed to happen. I've told you we have a lot of people riding motorcycles, but we also have some criminals. And these criminals have come out of the post-war era. Of course, when you talk about Acholi, and we don't concentrate on Gulu City, we are looking at national parks. We have national parks which are here. And that's why you saw that we have the elephant totem there. The elephant is there. It means that something is taking place. There are also a lot of tourist attraction. The places, you know, you can go to Patiko, the Fort Patiko is the one I'm talking about, and other areas where people go to look at the sceneries that take us across. Now, we have tourists here, and in October, we are going to have what they call the Oktoberfest, a festival which is going to be held in Gulu City and going to house over 30,000 guests. Most of them are coming from Germany, and this has been a build-up with the relationship with the Gulu City and the city in Germany. Now, this will allow the local community to get a lot of resources. I hope they will know what to do with the money when they have received it, because there's going to be a lot of dollars in this country. The airfield will be busy because some people may not want to travel by road. They may want to come by air, and so we have to get ready. It's going to be a very big deal. The airport has to be put up to be able to manage, and then we also have to ensure that the migration will be there. We're also going to have people coming from Sudan. We're going to have a lot of cultural leaders coming from Teso, that's the Ateker cluster, the Baganda, the Isebantu. So there'll be a lot of activity in this sub-region. And when I talk about service delivery, the one you have just asked, we have the referral hospital here. We have the Cancer Institute here. And we have a university that has over 8,000 students. So it's, I believe that much is happening. Now, in Uganda, we also know that one of the most popular hospitals, which have done a lot of work, which we cannot ignore mentioning, is Lacho. Lacho has a big job. It has a lot of clients. The patients are many. And they travel from as far as Kampala, Teso, Bugisu, Karamoja, and West Nile. They come to this hospital. So that's one of the places that we cannot ignore. Now, we are aware that we have markets, but these markets are becoming small every day because the population is increasing on a daily basis. If Ugandans want to die out of poverty, it will be their choice. And I will not fight to remove a rope from somebody's neck. Because if a person has, because everything is there. When I was growing up, these opportunities did not exist. That you are seated in your village, somebody comes to tell you there is some money there, and you get 1 million shillings in your pocket, boop. And the opportunity is what to buy, to sell, to keep, is there. And this did not start from today. These programs have been there for such a long time. They did not exist during our time. The youth getting money, YLP. Then we have the UWEP here running. Then leave all those. We have had all these NGOs coming here. Making input in almost every sector. Catering for women, catering to former combatants. We have the Renaissance here, training people, giving them packages to take them to their homes. We have a lot of organizations. We have got Love One, taking care of the children, training people how to keep them. We have SOurce here. We have had the Action Aid. We have had the Archdiocese itself. We have Caritas. I can't name all. Every and each one of them training girls. We have had WENT here. We have a lot of organizations training people to get out of poverty, and also giving them packages. Also even constructing houses for returnee combatants who are here. So, first of all, the road network. If you have a road network, which is good enough, you've seen what is happening in the city. What should be your problem? We have the water which has been boosted. That means that we are working. Now, once you have water, the electricity that is powered, that enters Gulu, is more than that we need. We have more power that we need. It is only us to make connections, to take it where we want. And of course, that should also be the responsibility of our leaders. to help government to identify where there is need. But you see, when you go to some of these villages, you know, we have satellite villages here. We have satellite villages where people are doing everything. Unfortunately, the communities that are there come from other regions, and they are doing well. They are doing very well. They are making money. They are selling poultry. They are engaged in almost all the activities that anybody would want to be involved in. Now, there are a lot of issues that have continued to happen. Like I've informed you, that people have been able to get seed and given directly by the general himself. By the general himself. So I would have wanted the other officers below the general to also involve themselves, other than leaving these issues to only the general. Because when you give out some of these inputs and then the people at a lower level do not involve themselves, it means that even the RCC doesn't know who exactly the beneficiaries were. And when I don't know who all the exact, how will I monitor that? How? And you see, some of us don't want to leave our positions empty-handed when we have not created impact. We need to leave a legacy. We are trying our best so that at the end of it all, you leave a legacy. People should know that when so and so, when Honoria Ambrose was the RCC of Blue City, he created a change in the community. He worked hand in hand with so and so, because as an individual, I can't achieve anything. I have to work with other people, religious leaders. I'm happy that here everything is going on well. But the biggest problem is that there's been negativity from political leaders. And so long as you are negative, you know, it's obvious. Everything about you will be negative. You want to start blaming President Museveni for what he doesn't know. You were all aware that he never created a war. Did he create a war here? No. So who created it? We don't want to look backwards to find what was the origin, who was this person. And we don't want to cast that person. Because now you ask yourself, what did the people ask for? A market. They give a brand new market. And right now, I will tell you, another market is under construction. And of course, that market is not enough. The population is growing. We'll ask for more and more and more. But that logistical hub, if people take advantage of it, everybody will be rich here. The OWC officials who are below the general must ensure that they get in touch with my office, because it's my office that oversees OWC operations at the city, at the district, whether they want or they don't want. My people out there who are vying for positions, and to the people who are the supporters and mobilizers, in most cases, it's the mobilizers who fight. But the real candidates are quiet. And in the evenings, they sit and have a cup of tea and dinner together in hotels. What is your problem that you need to fight every day when you know that you can actually live together? Because this politics, after every 5 years, there are renewals. If your candidate has lost election, does not mean the end. You will mobilize again. I want to urge you to be peaceful. Don't need to have any fight with the community. Live in harmony and keep problem out of your door. You lose a tooth, you break your hand, that leader may win, he will help you, may not win, you'll have more problems. And sometimes it causes conflict. So I also want to appeal the leaders who are the candidates, please try to instill the words of discipline into your mobilizers, into your campaign managers. Let them come to realize and understand that this is not a do or die. And that's why we say elections, there is only one winner. During the election time, only one winner. So once another one loses, life must continue, but let's be productive. In most cases, every year after the year of elections, there is hunger, because people will not be working in the entire year. They will be putting all their life into the political arena. I say this all for God and my country. My contact is open for everybody. and 24/7 is 0772 430 416, and I am at the edge, at the top of the hill. As soon as you leave the city, past the police station, you just ask for the office of the resident city commissioner. He will definitely be there. And if I will not be in the office, I have very able staff who have worked with me. I say this all for God and my country.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.